You drag yourself out of bed every morning feeling like you barely slept, even after getting a full 8 hours. What if you could wake up before your alarm goes off, feeling energized and actually excited to start your day? In this video, I'll share 7 science-backed sleep secrets used by peak performers that will completely transform how you sleep and wake up motivated every single morning. I discovered these methods after struggling with poor sleep for years, trying everything from expensive supplements to meditation apps. The problem is, most sleep advice focuses on sleep duration when the real issue is sleep quality and your morning routine design. Research from Stanford's Sleep Medicine Center shows that how you prepare for sleep and what you do in the first 10 minutes after waking determines your entire day's energy levels. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to hack your sleep cycle and wake up motivated without relying on willpower. Let's dive in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most people think sleep starts when their head hits the pillow, but elite athletes and CEOs know that quality sleep actually begins 10 hours before bedtime. What it is, the 10-3-2-1-0 formula, is a countdown system that prepares your body for deep, restorative sleep. It goes like this: no caffeine 10 hours before bed, no food or alcohol 3 hours before, no work 2 hours before, no screens 1 hour before, and 0 times hitting the snooze button in the morning. Why it works? Research from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that caffeine consumed even 6 hours before bed significantly disrupts sleep architecture, reducing deep sleep by up to 30%. Your body needs time to metabolize stimulants completely. The 3-hour food rule prevents acid reflux and allows your digestive system to rest instead of working overtime. When you're digesting food, your core body temperature stays elevated, and your body needs to cool down by 2 to 3 degrees to trigger sleep hormones. The screen rule is crucial because blue light suppresses melatonin production by up to 85%, essentially telling your brain it's still daytime. How to apply: first, calculate your target bedtime and work backwards. If you sleep at 11 p.m., your last coffee should be at 1 p.m. maximum. Second, finish your dinner by 8 p.m. and keep it light. Avoid heavy proteins and spicy foods that spike your metabolism. Third, create a 2-hour wind-down zone where you shift to low-stimulation activities like reading, gentle stretching, or journaling. Fourth, charge your phone in another room or use a traditional alarm clock. The mistake most people make is keeping their phone on the nightstand just for the alarm, then scrolling for 30 minutes. Instead, replace screen time with a physical book or audio content with a sleep timer. But that's not all. The 0 snooze rule is actually the most important part. This next one is crucial because your morning determines your evening. Special Forces operators use a technique that forces immediate wakefulness within 60 seconds. What it is, the moment your alarm sounds, you immediately count down 5 to 4, 3 to 2 minus 1, and physically throw your legs out of bed before your brain can negotiate. Then you expose yourself to bright light within 2 minutes and drink 16 ounces of water you've placed by your bed the night before. Why it works? Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains that when you first wake up, you're in a liminal state where your prefrontal cortex hasn't fully activated yet. This is when your primitive brain will convince you that 5 more minutes is necessary. That conversation happens in milliseconds, and once you engage with it, you've already lost. The 5-second countdown creates a pattern interrupt that bypasses this negotiation phase entirely. The immediate light exposure triggers a cortisol spike. Yes, cortisol, which gets a bad reputation but is actually your natural wake-up hormone. When released at the right time, it increases alertness and sets your circadian rhythm for the entire day. The water intake rehydrates your body after 7 to 8 hours without fluids and jumpstarts your metabolism by up to 24% for the next 90 minutes. How to apply. First, tonight before bed, place a large glass of water on your nightstand and position your alarm across the room, so you have to stand up to turn it off. Second, when that alarm rings, audibly count 5 to 4, 3 to 2 minus 1 go and move immediately. No thinking, just action. Third, turn on the brightest lights in your room or step outside for 2 minutes if possible. Morning sunlight is 10,000 lux, while indoor lighting is usually only 300 to 500 lux, so natural light is exponentially more effective. Fourth, drink your entire glass of water within 5 minutes. Add a pinch of sea salt if you want to optimize hydration. The common mistake is putting your alarm beside your bed, where turning it off requires zero effort. That's like trying to diet while keeping cookies on your pillow. You're designing failure into the system. Now let's talk about something even more powerful that happens before you even close your eyes. Most people don't know this, but the #1 cause of poor sleep isn't stress itself. It's unprocessed thoughts racing through your mind at 1 a.m. What it is, the brain dump ritual is a 10-minute practice where you write down everything in your head 90 minutes before bed. Tomorrow's tasks, worries, random ideas, unfinished conversations, everything. You're essentially transferring your mental RAM onto paper so your brain can finally shut down. Why it works, psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain obsessively loops unfinished tasks to prevent you from forgetting them. A study from Baylor University found that people who spent just 5 minutes writing a to-do list before bed fell asleep 9 minutes faster than those who didn't. Your brain literally cannot relax until it knows that important information is safely stored somewhere. Think of it like keeping 47 browser tabs open on your computer. Everything slows down. When you close those tabs, write things down, your system speeds up again. Japanese culture has practiced this for centuries through Nikon reflection, understanding that mental clarity is the foundation of restful sleep. How to apply. First, set a reminder for 90 minutes before your target bedtime to begin this ritual. Second, grab a physical notebook, not your phone's notes app, because that leads to distraction. Third, write in 3 categories: must do tomorrow, maximum 3 items, brain clutter, everything else bothering you, and gratitude. 3 things that went well today. Fourth, for any anxiety-inducing thoughts, write them down and add 1 small action step you can take tomorrow to address it. This transforms vague anxiety into concrete plans. The mistake people make is trying to think through their problems in bed, which activates problem-solving brain regions that prevent sleep. Instead, acknowledge the thought, write it down, and tell yourself, I've captured this, I'll handle it tomorrow. Your brain will actually accept this agreement and let go. But wait, there's more to this, and it involves your bedroom environment. Here's something that changed everything for me. Your bedroom should feel like a cave, and there's a scientific reason for this. That's fascinating. What it is, the cave principle means engineering your sleep environment to be cool, 60 to 67 DGFF, completely dark, not one visible LED light, and quiet, under 30 decibels. Your bedroom should have exactly one purpose: sleep. Not work, not entertainment, not storage, just sleep. Why it works: your body's core temperature drops by 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate sleep. When your room is too warm, this process can't happen efficiently, leading to fragmented sleep and frequent waking. Research from the National Sleep Foundation shows that the optimal sleep temperature is between 60 to 67 DGF, with 65 degrees Fahrenheit being the sweet spot for most people. Even tiny amounts of light suppress melatonin production. That little charging indicator on your phone, the standby light on your TV, even moonlight through curtains can reduce sleep quality by up to 40%. Your body evolved to sleep in complete darkness. and any light signals to your brain that it's time to be alert. As for sound, studies show that noise above 35 decibels consistently disrupts sleep cycles even if you don't consciously wake up. Your brain continues monitoring for threats, preventing you from reaching the deep sleep stages where physical restoration happens. How to apply? First, invest in blackout curtains or a sleep mask. This is non-negotiable. Cover or remove every light source. Put black tape over LEDs. Unplug unnecessary devices and face your alarm clock away from you. Second, lower your thermostat to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or use a fan for air circulation if you can't control temperature directly. If you sleep with a partner who prefers warmth, consider a cooling mattress pad for yours. Third, use a white noise machine or app to mask environmental sounds like traffic or neighbors. White noise works by providing consistent sound frequencies that prevent sudden noise spikes from alerting your brain. Fourth, remove your TV, work laptop, and exercise equipment from your bedroom. Your brain creates location-based associations, and when you work in your bedroom, your brain starts associating that space with alertness rather than sleep. The common mistake is thinking I'll just ignore the light or I'm used to the noise. Your conscious mind might adapt, but your autonomic nervous system never does. It's still processing these inputs and preventing deep sleep. This brings me to the next secret that happens right when you open your eyes. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do I wake up actually motivated, not just awake? This technique answers that question perfectly. What it is, the motivation anchor is something specific and exciting you've prepared the night before that gives you a reason to get out of bed. It could be your favorite coffee brewing on a timer, workout clothes laid out for a morning walk, a project you're genuinely excited about, or even a special breakfast you were looking forward to. Why it works. Behavioral psychologist B.J. Fogg discovered that motivation is actually unreliable. You can't summon it through willpower alone. Instead, you need to design environmental triggers that create motivation automatically. When you have something to look forward to within the first hour of waking, your brain releases dopamine in anticipation, which naturally counters the grogginess and resistance to waking up. Thousands of high performers use this method because it shifts the question from how do I force myself out of bed to what am I excited about today. This is how Olympic athletes maintain 5 a.m. training schedules for years. They've anchored waking up to something meaningful beyond just discipline. First, identify what genuinely excites you in the morning. This has to be authentic, not what you think should motivate you. For some people, it's coffee and quiet reading time. For others, it's exercise. For others, it's creative work before the world wakes up. Second, prepare this anchor the night before, with zero friction. If it's coffee, set the timer so it's ready when you wake. If it's exercise, lay out your clothes and shoes. If it's a project, leave your workspace arranged so you can jump right in. Third, schedule this anchor for the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking, before checking email or social media. This protects your peak morning energy for something that serves you, not others' agendas. Fourth, vary your anchors throughout the week to prevent habituation. Monday might be special coffee, Wednesday might be a nature walk, Friday might be a favorite breakfast. The mistake people make is trying to motivate themselves through generic affirmations or willpower. Instead, you're leveraging behavioral design and anticipation to make waking up something you genuinely want to do. But that's only half the equation. Let me share what to avoid. This next one is crucial because most people accidentally destroy their sleep quality without realizing it. What it is, evening energy management, means intentionally downregulating your nervous system for 2 to 3 hours before bed. This includes avoiding intense exercise, heated arguments, stressful news, and even overly stimulating entertainment like action movies or competitive gaming. Why it works. Your nervous system has 2 modes: sympathetic, fight or flight, and parasympathetic, rest and digest. When you do intense cardio at 9 p.m. or get into a Twitter argument at 10 p.m., you activate sympathetic mode, which raises cortisol, adrenaline, and body temperature, the exact opposite of what you need for sleep. It takes 2 to 4 hours for these stress hormones to fully clear your system. Think of it like revving a car engine to 7,000 revolutions per minute and then immediately expecting it to idle smoothly. The system needs time to downregulate. Research from the University of South Carolina found that vigorous exercise within 2 hours of bedtime delayed sleep onset by an average of 23 minutes and reduced deep sleep by 18%. How to apply? First, schedule intense workouts for morning or early afternoon, no later than 6 p.m. If you must exercise in the evening, stick to gentle yoga, walking, or stretching. Second, implement a news and social media cutoff at 8 p.m. The world's problems will still exist tomorrow, but your sleep quality won't recover if you sacrifice it tonight. Third, choose calming evening activities. Fiction reading, not work-related nonfiction, gentle music, conversation with loved ones, or creative hobbies like drawing or journaling. Fourth, if you must have difficult conversations with family or partners, have them early in the evening with a 3-hour buffer before bed. For instance, instead of starting a budget discussion at 10 p.m., start it at 7 p.m. so there's time to resolve and decompress. The common mistake is believing I need to tire myself out before bed, leading to late-night gym sessions or exhausting activities. This confuses physical tiredness with nervous system readiness for sleep. They're completely different states. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful that happens in the morning. Here's the final piece that ties everything together. The first hour after waking is worth more than the next 3 hours combined. What it is, the first hour framework is a protected morning routine where you control your attention and energy before giving it away to external demands. It includes hydration, light exposure, movement, and one meaningful task in that specific order, before checking your phone or email. Why it works? Neuroscience research shows that your brain produces more alpha and theta waves in the first hour after waking, making this the most creative and focused time of your day. Once you check email or social media, you're reactive instead of proactive, and you've handed control of your attention to other people's priorities. Silicon Valley executives and best-selling authors protect their first hour religiously because they understand it's when cognitive performance peaks. When you start your day by serving others' agendas, you're essentially saying their priorities matter more than mine, which creates underlying resentment and lack of motivation. The military has known this for decades. That's why they start with physical training before anything else, establishing a sense of accomplishment and control before the chaos of the day begins. How to apply? First, the night before, decide your one meaningful task for the first hour. This could be 20 minutes of writing, a workout, meditation, a side project, or learning something new. Choose something that serves your goals, not your job's demands. Second, when you wake up, follow this exact sequence. Water, 5 minutes. Sunlight exposure, 2 to 10 minutes. Light movement or stretching, 10 minutes. Then your meaningful task, 30 to 40 minutes. Third, keep your phone on airplane mode or in another room until this first hour is complete. If you're worried about emergencies, tell important people they can call twice if urgent. 1 call you might miss, 2 calls you'll notice. Fourth, prepare anything needed for your meaningful task the night before so there's zero friction. If it's writing, have your journal open. If it's exercise, have your clothes ready. The mistake people make is checking just one message, which turns into 45 minutes of reactive scrolling. Instead, earn your phone time by completing your first hour first. I promise you, 30 days from now, you'll thank yourself for implementing this single habit. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1. the 10 to 3 2 to 1 0 formula for preparing your body for deep sleep. Number 2, the military wake-up method to eliminate snooze button dependency. Number 3, the brain dump ritual to clear mental clutter before bed. Number 4, the cave principle for optimizing your sleep environment. Number 5, the motivation anchor to give yourself a reason to wake up excited. Number 6, evening energy management to protect your nervous system. Number 7, the first hour framework to maximize your peak mental state. Remember, better sleep isn't about adding more hours. It's about optimizing the hours you have and designing a morning that makes you want to get out of bed. You have everything you need to transform your sleep and wake up motivated starting tonight. The only difference between someone who drags through their morning and someone who bounds out of bed is that they've implemented these systems, not that they have more willpower or better genetics. Don't wait until you're completely burned out or your health forces you to change. Start with just one of these methods tonight. I recommend the brain dump ritual since it requires zero equipment, and you'll see results immediately. Pick your favorite coffee mug, set it by your bed with water, and commit to the 5-second rule tomorrow morning. If you found this helpful, hit that like button so more people can discover these sleep secrets. Subscribe for more science-backed self-improvement content that actually works, not generic motivation fluff. Drop a comment telling me which of these 7 methods you're going to implement first, or share your biggest sleep struggle so I can help. And if you want to learn how to maintain motivation throughout your entire day, not just the morning, check out this video next, where I break down the productivity system used by Navy SEALs.